Welcome back to the June 13th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Caleb Black, Luke the Big Dog Williams, Mighty Max Fury, the in-studio producer. Hey. It's time to talk AEW. And boys, let me be the first to say the only thing I cared about at all was the first 20 minutes. And Luke, why would you ask that I only cared about the first 20 minutes of AEW this week?
Why would you care about
I don't know. What possibly could have happened that would have been so good, in my opinion, for AEW that I only cared about the first... Oh, you know what it was?
Did Zack Ryder show up?
No, it wasn't Zack Ryder. You know what it was? You know what happened? FTR's in-ring debut, baby! So excited. First of all, they wrestled the Butcher and the Blade. This was the best match the Butcher and the Blade have had in AEW at all, and probably the best tag team wrestling match they've ever had, against the best tag team in wrestling today, Dax Harwood and Cash Wilder. And let me tell you, it was worth every single minute of watching. They both played heels, but FTR did it in a way that was believable without breaking the rules, which is their whole MO in tag team wrestling. It was so good. It was just so good. I love their entrance coming in the custom trucks and the old school vehicles. Obviously, they're probably not going to be able to keep doing that when they finally get back indoors.
I don't know. Eddie did it
with arenas, but man, I just can't put them over enough. That match ends with the Bucks coming out and Matt and Nick Jackson trying to be gravelly and serious and talking about how they've held tag team wrestling on their backs for the past decade and a half. F that. FTR that, because FTR is the top tag team, and I cannot wait until this thing breaks down and they finally have that match.
I agree. I think that for the most part, that FTR is what I would consider primetime watching. It's what you tune in to see. You tune in if you're a purist and you love wrestling, especially tag team wrestling. FTR is the way to go.
I love they changed the name of the Lift Double Knee to the Goodnight Express. A little tease back to the midnight. Gotta love that. Man, I just don't have enough good things to say about it.
Then, of course, you have the Mindbreaker.
Yeah, the Mindbreaker, the Brain Butt. It was so good. And then, of course, they have the breakdown afterward. Omega and Page show up, and then Kip Sabian and Havoc show up. They have a little fight. They cleared the other two heel teams, and then Omega and Page are standing there in between the Bucks and FTR. Makes for a good visual.
It does.
You know, FTR, obviously, people want the Bucks and FTR match, but they got to go somewhere after that, and the next place to go after that's got to be the tag team titles.
It's the only logic step.
Yeah. So definitely looking good for FTR in the future. Had a little segment between MJF and Billy Gunn where MJF talks about how he's undefeated and that nobody can beat him. Billy Gunn, of course, is like, hey, I could beat you. So they're setting up for a tag team match next week. It's going to be the Gun Club versus MJF and Wardlow.
A good one.
MJF could wrestle a plastic bag. Billy
Gunn could wrestle a plastic bag.
Right, and Billy Gunn, people forget he's like 6'6", and 260 pounds if you don't want to mess with this.
He's also probably a member of one of the top 5 tag teams of all time.
Right, and when you add in that he's teaming with his son, Austin, who's about MJF size, they've got the size dynamic between MJF and Wardlow and the Gun Club. It's going to be a great tag match. I'm excited about it.
Yes.
Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida wrestle Penelope Ford and Nyla Rose in the tag team match. Ford ends up taking the pin with a fisherman suplex, which now could position Ford to be the next women's #1 contender.
Yeah, I like Statlander.
So do I. I think in the absence of Britt Baker, Penelope Ford's going to really be able to step up and be a top female heel.
The whole Statlander thing, she was talked about for NXT before signing with AEW, and the only reason she was offered a contract and turned it down because she wanted to continue the gimmick she's been building.
Yep.
WWE didn't want that.
I'm not a big fan of Statlander's gimmick, but I get the appeal to it.
I'm not, but I find that she's put so much work into it that...
And it's different.
It is.
It's something different. It's something enjoyable.
It's a gimmick that's taking place that works rather minus, like Impact and the gimmicks that they do that doesn't.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
totally agreed. Had an interesting moment with the Natural Nightmares, who I guess are setting up to have a tag team feud.
Well, to predecess what happened on AEW, I watched Dark this week.
Yeah.
And QT Marshall's on again, off again woman. The bunny. Made him t-shirts.
Yeah.
That I said the Nightmares,
Yeah.
and in the middle is nothing but a big picture, full-body picture of QT.
That's great.
And he was like, here, these shirts were made for you guys. Wear them to the ring with me.
Oh, my gosh.
And they wore them, and the funny thing is that Dustin Rhodes' was too small, and the one they gave for Brandy looked like a muumuu.
Oh, no.
It was so big that it covered her whole body,
right.
which makes Bunny the standout, of course, makes sense.
You know,
I like it.
I think the Bunny's like a plant. Like she's gonna betray QT Marshall for the Blade and the Butcher, but still, it's another tag feud we get a little bit of excitement, enjoyment out of. I'm into it.
A little bit more Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a great tag team.
I'm definitely into it.
Dynamic's great.
Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends wrestled Jake Hager and Proud and Powerful in a 6-man tag match. Jericho's on commentary. Obviously, this is promoting Cassidy.
And they never really had a match. Once the bell rang, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, all hell broke loose. Had a lot of athletic spots. Cassidy, when he turns it on, man, he goes. He hits that beauty. He's got one of the nicest swinging tornado DDTs I've ever seen.
He's also got an amazing arm drag that me and Maximus talked about.
Yeah.
And he's got that move where he does where he'll jump over the ropes. Instead of hitting the arm drag, he'll take his 2 feet across the guy's neck and flip him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Kind of like an assisted head scissors.
Yeah. I love Orange Cassidy. I think him and Jericho's dynamic will be great.
Yeah, we had the post-match beatdown with Jericho too coming out.
Juiced him
as he juiced him. Yeah, turned him into pulp. It's so good. It's also, if I can take a moment, I think that Shivani, JR, and Excalibur are really starting to hit their stride together.
Yes,
I think there were obvious moments before where, we didn't really know who was leading the team. Obviously, JR's the team leader, but Excalibur's getting vocal too. And Shivani's right there to be the pickup guy.
I think that Excalibur was the odd man out.
Yeah, he was.
Because, obviously, JR knows what he's doing, Shivani knows what he's
doing. And JR and Shivani together.
They, and Shivani and JR both led both companies.
Yeah.
Against each other in the Monday Night Wars. And also, they've worked together
They worked together in WCW as the broadcast
Excalibur, yes, he's getting more vocal.
Yeah.
On Dark, him and Taz, he carries Dark.
Yeah, he does.
Like, Taz will go off on tangents about Brian Cage.
Of course, as he will right now.
But I'm telling you, man, Excalibur carries the entire show.
Yeah. I agree. I think that the three of them are really starting to get some good work.
Yes.
We had a match between Guevara and Cabana. It was a good match. Cabana can work, Guevara can work. We're going back to the Dark Order. They reunited, and they're still trying to recruit Colt Cabana. I think it'd be interesting.
Colt Cabana went to the back with him after
I think it'd be interesting if he did join the Dark Order, and we did get to see a darker side of Colt Cabana. I think at this peak in his career, we've seen him do everything else.
Yeah.
We've seen him be the comedy guy. We've seen him be the classic wrestling guy. We've seen him be a pure pro wrestler. We've seen him be a fighter.
That's classic. Yeah.
This would be an interesting choice to go with. Colt.
I would love to see something new, but at the other side of the coin is I just don't know if the Dark Order is where he would really fluster. I mean, I think Brody Lee has enough really good talent. Now adding Angels or Aaron Angel as number 5 now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have 10 who had the messed up arm.
I think Colt...
I just don't think you need him.
I think Colt ousting Brody Lee as the leader would be interesting.
That would be cool.
It would set up a good feud between a hard-hitting wrestler like Brody Lee and Colt Cabana is a wrestling machine.
Yeah. Definitely.
The main event featured Cody and Mark Quinn of the Private Party. Cody defending the TNT title once again. Cody on TV defending the TNT belt. I think that's a great mark. I think it's a good way to save your world champ, and I think it's a good way to get your workhorse title over. Last week you wrestled Jungle Boy, which was a great match. This week, Mark Quinn is the most athletic person on AEW's roster, probably, if you look at just bare, raw athleticism. Mixed with Cody's experience, they had a great match, and I think that's the way that Cody can continue to elevate guys who need it. And it's a good way to get micro feuds out of Cody. The thing about Cody is you don't have to put him in a big full-time program for him to be over.
No, he's a Rhodes. He's going to carry weight regardless.
And he could wrestle a new guy every couple weeks.
Well, I hear that for Fyter Fest, his opponent's going to be Jake Hager.
Oh, well, that'll be interesting. That's pretty much all that happened with AEW this week. Let us know what you thought on Dynamite. Leave us a comment down below. Send us an email at prowrestling@gmail.com or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestling_throwdown. Stay tuned for Taking an Impact.